All right, so thank you everyone so much for joining us today. We are super excited to share some exciting updates with you. We host these roadmap webinars every couple of months to keep everyone posted about what's going on. So today, your hosts are me, Helena, and Matthew, who you've already heard from. We're both from Front's Education and Community team. We're the ones who bring you Front Academy and Front Community, and we also host weekly office hours that anyone can attend, so you might have also seen us there as well. Um, Before we jump into our official business, Matt, I wanted to have you share one quick tip about Front that might be useful to our audience. And I'll exit my full screen and hop over to Front to have you give us a quick tip.
Yeah, I would say my quick tip, one that I'm probably using the most that I see a lot of front users who don't realize that they can do this, is actually sending a discussion to yourself as like a post-it note, or instead of like writing down a to-do on a piece of paper. So if you press that little drop-down arrow next to compose and select new discussion, I always just, in this case, Helena, you would type it to yourself, Helena, and then you would say, to-dos, reminders, hey, do this thing, this project. Before I used to just type a bunch of, or write a bunch of post-it notes, stick them on my desktop, my computer, in my backpack, wherever. And now it's super nice because I can just put it in my inbox and then archive it when I'm done. So I think most front users know that they can send discussions to each other and their other teammates, but never realize that they can send a discussion to themselves and then just archive it when they've completed it. So I would say, without giving any spoilers of what we're going to present today, that's probably one of my pro tips of the day.
Awesome. I also use that all the time, and it's so satisfying to like have your to-dos here and then you archive them and then you're done with them. So yes, that's a good one. Thank you, Matt.
Of
Um,
course.
and then for me, I wanted to share, we have our help menu here that I wanted to show you all. It is a one-stop shop in app, so you don't have to leave the app when you're working for all of our different resources you might need. Um, the first link is a link to our live training. So our office hours that I had just mentioned, they're all listed here. So if you come here, you can find live help. We have them every single week. So come here, sign up with us. We have a link that takes you to Front Academy with all of our courses. You can even have all the links to all the other different resources that we have without, needing to remember them. And there's even a search bar at the top where if you're confused while you're working in Front about some kind of topic like comments or emojis or something, search it. Our help center articles are going to pop up here, and then you can directly open them up from here without needing to leave Front or remember, where do I go to find these things? So that is my hot tip. Last thing too is we have a news feed here. If you click over to the What's New tab, if you've never seen it, this is a curated list of highlights of the coolest new things that we have going on that we want to make sure you know about. So if you click over here, you'll see a list of them. Click into them for more details. It links you out to all of the additional information about it. So yeah, that is my hot tip. And as we're on the topic of resources, I wanted to let everyone know we're currently working on a brand new resource that's been very highly requested, which is a um, it's a library of quick video tutorials on how to use front features. These are going to be bite-sized video tutorials about front features, different from a full-length course that we have in Front Academy, which, sometimes might take you 10, 20 minutes. These are going to be like 3 to 5 minute videos. And what we'd like your help with is to tell us what topics and what features you want for these videos. So anything that you find confusing or that you're frequently needing to teach your teammates, explain to them, tell us what those are, and then we'll make them into videos for you. How you can let us know is just put them in this link that I am going to post in the chat. It's a community post link. So just comment on there with whatever topics you'd like, and then we will take it from there. Yes, and then the last thing that I'll quickly mention before I hand things over to Matt to present the roadmap is if you have any questions as Matt is presenting, please drop them into the Q&A box of the webinar. Some of you have already so graciously been using it to let us know the feedback about the webinar. And then we're going to answer them in the roadmap post, which I'm also putting into the chat right now. So the roadmap post is on our front page if you ever lose that link, as well as that crash course link. But if you come into the roadmap link that I just posted and you want to stay up to date about the Q&As that get answered, just click the subscribe button on this post. And then anytime we're answering the Q&As here, you'll get notified. We are also going to put today's recording into here after the webinar ends today, so that if you need to dip out early or you want to share with your teammates what the roadmap webinar was today, then you can just send them here to this link, and then all the resources will be right here. All right, so with that, let's check out our roadmap with you, Matt. I'm going to come back over to our screen.
Awesome. And can we go to the next slide, Helena, please, for the agenda?
Yes, and I just assigned you slide control. Let
Oh,
me know that's
perfect.
great.
Well, so as we are here for the roadmap, some of the things that we are going to talk about basically during this time is our product focus areas for kind of Q4 and really beyond. So not only what are we building right now that's going to be, some of these things are going to be released tomorrow, some are going to be released over the next few days, few weeks, but then we're also going to walk through some of the things longer term, so over about the next 3 or so months that our product team is focused on. We're also going to be giving a quick update on recent improvements and releases. So for many of you, you might not necessarily even know that some of these things have been released on your plan. So just want to make sure that you're aware of everything that you have access to. Then we'll do a quick wrap up. And as Helena mentioned, we will be posting a recording of this on our community, as well as answering our Q&A there. I do always want, whenever we do these roadmaps, I do want to just have a quick statement that what we're going to show here is really intended to outline our general direction. It is for informational purposes only. So it's not necessarily a contract that we're saying, yes, this is like what we're going to be building and releasing, and here's the exact date, here's the exact images of what they look like. So please, if you are here and you're going to be like purchasing front based on some of these decisions or changing your plan, I would always recommend, just making sure to connect with our team to make sure that these are going to be meeting your needs, that we are committing to many of these capabilities. So while what we are going to show you right now are currently commits for our product team, we do want to make sure that we are telling you that this may change depending on the product team's discretion, resourcing, a number of different factors. So always want to make sure to say that. So really in Q4, so here at Front, our Q4 ends in January. So our product team has been hard at work in 3 focus areas. And these are going to be focus areas that the team is continuing to invest in the first half of this year. The first is going to be ticketing. So building out new ticketing workflows and adding on and improving our analytics to actually help your team track and resolve issues quickly. So many of you might have seen our recent release of ticketing. So these are going to be both new functionalities as well as improvements to those workflows. Second is going to be investing in self-service. So enabling scalable self-service support with an improved knowledge base and chatbot capabilities. And the third focus area is going to be our AI assistance and insights. So helping you and your teams boost efficiency with AI-powered agents, as well as new insights to help resolve issues faster and power smarter decisions. So let's go ahead and dive into that first area, ticketing. Enhancing analytics and an all-new customer portal to power your processes. So just before we dive in, I do want to just show what a slide will look like here. So we'll have a little description. There will be some images over here on the right. And then up here in this little green box, you will see the tentative timeline that our product team has for this. So you will see this time and time again during this roadmap presentation. Do just want to make sure that you're aware when we say Q4, it is going to be over the next few weeks, or it might say coming soon. Q1 is maybe in the next few months. But one of the first things that we will be releasing is custom ticket statuses for granular tracking. So this feature is going to enable admins to set a custom ticket status for like the open, the waiting, the resolved ticket statuses so that they can better determine what action is needed. So it actually builds on top of the existing ticket functionality For example, we have heard feedback from all of you that you may have different statuses, say for waiting. You might say, I'm waiting to hear back from the customer. Maybe I'm waiting to hear from our legal department. And that is going to be a little bit more granular than just having that general waiting. So as you can see here in the image, we see waiting for approval, waiting for customer, waiting for fulfillment. The plan is to release this on all of our current plans over the next few weeks. Next, we have new reporting. Oh, sorry, I think I maybe double-clicked a little bit too fast. Next, we have new reporting for out-of-the-box resolution analytics. So this is going to help us get insights on ticket statuses, and it will be broadly available across all of our analytics and reports. So customers are going to be able to better understand, like you all will see the life cycle of a conversation and get valuable insight into resolution with these new reports. With a resolution report, you'll be able to get insight into ticket resolution metrics, so including first reply time, handle time, the average wait or open time, resolution by tag, and much more. So you can kind of see a mock-up screenshot here of that new resolution report. And we will also be adding resolution metrics to the existing team performance report. I think it's actually supposed to be released here in the next week or so. I know a big one for many of you is going to be our customer portal. So we have heard time and time again from our customers that they want a customer portal. Basically, this is going to be a way that you will be able to have users, so have your customers log in and submit tickets securely. So you will be able to customize everything from the ticket fields to colors, the logos that you can see here to match your company's branding. But what's great about this is that your customers will now be able to actually log in and see the status of their requests. So basically, let's say I send front a number of requests. I can actually see, are these still open? Have they been resolved? Or am I in some type of waiting for those resolutions that I'm waiting for as a customer of front? These will be available on our growth, scale, and premier plans and will be coming out in the next few weeks. Alongside with this release of our customer portal is going to be able to, we're going to enable tracking requests. So what this is going to allow us to do is have customers, as I mentioned, track the status of this. So you can see here in this image that I can see my requests. I can see, oh, this one's open. These two are awaiting reply. This one is open. So that way, if I am submitting a lot of requests, your customers can actually understand what is it that they're still waiting on, that your team will be able to have better and deeper conversations with those individuals so they can not necessarily have to reach out to support every time to say, hey, I want to understand what's happening with these things I wrote in a month ago. They can basically see that on their own. Customers will also be able to see requests submitted by others within their company, which is another great way to help improve that transparency and also kind of reduce some of the tickets that your team is receiving. Because if I go in and I see, oh, somebody on my team already requested that, I don't have to submit that ticket again because I see that it's already awaiting reply with your company's team. Next, in Q4, so in the next few weeks, we will be able to track internal action items with linked discussions. So as you all know, we have introduced linked discussions here in the past few months, but we're expanding on this functionality to discussions to enable you to better track the internal action items and to-dos. So this is going to help all of you when it comes to better resolving those customer inquiries and issues. A few more ticketing enhancements that our product team is working on is going to be seamless incident management and splitting of tickets. So starting with seamless incident management is that you'll actually be able to send out a mass notification to multiple customers experiencing an issue, a bug, an outage. So traditionally, you might have had to send a number of different emails or try to get like a list to say, hey, this thing has happened. Now you'll be able to seamlessly be able to do that with the click of a button to send it to everyone who is impacted or affected. We'll also be building the ability to split tickets. So when multiple issues come up on a thread, so let's say, for example, I email front and I say, hey, I have this issue, and this issue. Your team will be able to split that out into multiple tickets that they can handle and have each one of them have a unique ticket ID. So our next category that our product team is focused on here in Q4 and beyond is going to be self-service support. So this is going to be enhancements to our knowledge base and our chatbot to help all of you scale your service. And before I kind of keep diving here on these slides, I do want to remind all of you, there is a Q&A. I see a lot of people engaging in it, which is really great. We will be answering all of those questions on our community. So please, please, please keep asking these questions. I already see some really great ones. So diving here into our self-service support, one of the first things that is actually already in an open beta, so as of mid-December, is the ability to log in controlled knowledge base. So you'll be able to create a gated experience that requires your customers or your partners to log into your knowledge base, giving you more control over who can see your content. I think some of the feedback that we have heard from folks is we want to be able to either choose to have that open knowledge base or have it gated. So maybe it's just a resource for our actual customers or our actual users. Or you maybe want to have specific groups be able to see that information. So like an internal knowledge base for your internal team members can view something that is maybe different from what is being experienced in the open. A few other knowledge base enhancements that our team is building are going to be rating the helpfulness of each article and setting reminders to update your content. So you can actually see here in the screenshot that you will be able to have your clients and customers rate how helpful or unhelpful they found an article. Why this is really great is because as your support teams are kind of reviewing that content, they can actually say, oh, you know what? Only 50% of our customers found this helpful. We need to do an audit and probably make updates to the content that is actually here. So this can help your team kind of plan out the audits that they need to do and the updates they need to make, alongside the ability to have auto reminders of how long you want your content to basically kind of be listed until you may have to update that. So for example, here at Front, we're actually always having to do some of these updates because we're releasing so much all of the time. So our team always has to be on top of it to make sure that our content is up to date. And so this is something that all of you will be able to provide to your support teams to help make sure that all of your content in your help center is as up to date as possible. Diving into some of our self-service improvements as they relate to chat is that you will be able to support, that Front will be able to support multiple chat conversations with inside Front Chat. And this is going to be released here in the next few weeks. So users will be able to engage in multiple open conversations with your support team via chat, making it easier than ever to manage separate issues at the same time. So traditionally, you could only really have that one thread inside Front Chat. Now, as you can see here, you can basically have those multiple open conversations, the ability to start new conversations, your customers to start those new conversations with you. And that way you don't have to have confusion about what's handled, what's not handled, or reading back that entire thread to make sure that everything has been answered. Additionally, users, so your customers and clients, will be able to access their chat histories at any time, allowing them to review how past issues were resolved, keep track of ongoing conversations that they're having. And it's not only going to improve that support experience for your clients and your customers, but just help everyone stay more organized and informed. Next, when it comes to one of the things that we're always kind of thinking about with chat is analyzing conversation flow. So we are excited to introduce that we are going to have flow analysis for chatbots here in the next few weeks. So this feature is going to allow all of you to track when you have drop-offs in those chatbots that you're building. So you'll be able to start to see those key metrics with interactions through detailed path analysis. So you can actually see where those drop-offs are happening. This is going to help you pinpoint where some of your users may lose interest, they might disengage, and you'll be able to identify potential bottlenecks. You can find areas of improvement to basically improve that chatbot process for either getting new leads, for helping answer support inquiries, and you can optimize and refine that process for your team once you have these new analytics. We will also start to leverage multiple sources for AI answers. So as you all know, almost a year ago, we released our AI answers with Front. So basically being able to pull those answers directly from your Help Center articles to help answer inquiries that your customers are reaching out to you about. But now you'll be able to connect AI answers with more than one knowledge source at a time to actually increase the breadth of topics that AI can deflect. So many of you have different knowledge bases for like different products, maybe different services, different partners, for example. Instead of having AI just be able to pull from one of them, you can actually connect all of those to your AI answers to have this intelligence be able to look through all of that to provide that best answer for that inquiry. A few more chatbot enhancements that our team is working on. First is going to be supporting hyperlinks in chatbot messages to share resources and content in one click. Allowing agents to actually end a chat and notify them when customers leave a conversation. We'll be able, inside building some of those chatbots, to branch by custom fields. So this is going to make that logic even more powerful for your bots. So maybe it's not just some very specific fields, but those custom fields can actually be smart and dynamic and changing. And then lastly, analytics updates to showcase bot performance and trends over time. So a little bit of what we kind of talked about earlier in trying to understand where we have drop-offs, but we'll also start to show historical data and trends and new metrics that are going to be released here probably in the first half of the year. Our third category of what our product team has been focused on here over the past few months and will be focused on for the rest of this quarter and the start of next quarter is going to be building out AI assistance and insights. So helping boost your team's efficiency with AI capabilities so that you can resolve issues faster and just improve your own internal processes. Starting with AI Assist, already in beta, so this is something that many of you might actually already be giving our teams feedback on, is we've released a lot of AI features in recent months. We're soon going to be creating a unified experience that ties all of these features together. So you'll be able to see critical conversation details, related resources in one place with AI Assist. So as you can see here, you can see basically the key moments, similar conversations, suggested reply outlines. So kind of before what's in beta right now, a lot of the feedback that we've received from all of you is basically that we have AI in a lot of different places, which is really great. But rather than having all of you need to dig around for that info, that context, the suggested next steps, it's actually all going to be immediately visible, basically in that single view. So I can see that whole AI assist and then even just generate a draft basically from all of that information or hop out to that other conversation that that customer might be referencing. So this means that basically your newest team members can operate from almost day one like some of the most senior team members. It's also going to enable seamless transitions between teams and teammates. So if you are getting a conversation to your support team and that actually needs to be transitioned over to your sales team or to your finance team, it's going to allow your internal teams to maintain a great customer experience even as your team scale or as some of these inquiries become so complex that you need to loop in multiple teams. So as you see here, I think this might be the first Q1 that you see. So this means that we are working and planning to release this basically in like the next 3 months or so, as opposed to the next few weeks. But as it relates to AI, is actually our smart QA and customizing your scorecard. So coming this spring, we're going to help all of you get a more complete view of agent performance with basically AI powered QA. So you'll actually be able to set the criteria for every type of customer request from basically an extensive library of metrics that our team is working on, like tone, professionalism, personalization. And then this can help control your QA process to make sure that you are kind of giving a score for those conversations to help in your training for your agents. Alongside of this customized QA is going to be a release of our IQS trend. So internal quality service trends and reports. So inside analytics, our team is working on helping give you comprehensive visibility into your service quality with smart QA. So traditionally, the QA process involves auditing, taking a handful of conversations, auditing them, and trying to see what trends can I identify from maybe just this subset or this small sample. We know, you probably know, that this can be incomplete, potentially inaccurate view of agent performance. And so it's hard to make decisions based on those performances or based on that manual QA process. So with our new IQS reports and Smart QA, it's going to help provide coverage on all of the closed tickets across the channels that you have set and filterable reports, basically, if you want to look at certain tags, certain agents. So all of the kind of the standard filters that exist today. So you can really understand team performance and service quality over time and be able to help train, coach your teams to make sure that you are providing that best in-class service. A few more updates that our team is also working on. So these are not necessarily some of the foci for Q4, but they are things that our product team they're working on. They are hoping to release in the next few months. Again, making sure to talk about that safe harbor statement. None of these are set in stone, but please ask our team questions about them. Please give us feedback to make sure that our product team knows that, hey, we love this idea. Please keep building it for us. So these are going to be improvements to our admin experience, our mobile app, and even more to empower your team. Starting off with something that is actually, I think might be live for all of you already, if not should be live this week, is testing rules as you build them. So now you'll actually be able to test your rules as you build them to make sure they work as expected before even turning them on live. So directly inside of our rules builder, you'll actually start to see a little test box. And as you can see here from this example, we can see, oh, this rule failed for this conversation because a tag was not found. So for many of you, traditionally, you might have written to our support team to say, hey, this rule has not worked for me, want to figure out why that is, and we would give you that answer. Now you'll be able to start doing this for your own team to make sure that a rule is working as intended before you turn it on live. You'll also be able to order inbox by highest priority. So when using like SLA rules, you can actually now sort your conversation lists by which conversations are closest or furthest from breaching their SLA. So this is going to help you and your teams more reliably meet those SLAs that you have put in place. So as you can see here, we would have like most urgent, so things that the SLA is going to trigger in maybe 1 hour, maybe 1 minute, versus least urgent where, hey, this came in, we've responded, the SLA is for another 8 hours. We probably don't need to focus on that conversation right now as we have this backlog of things that we have to get to basically right away. We will be having mobile app updates. One of them is going to be creating and editing calendar events and on offline drafting, excuse me. So we have heard the feedback ever since we released Calendar of wanting it to have a better mobile experience. So soon you'll be able to create and edit calendar events directly inside Front's mobile app. And you'll also be able to compose messages and replies offline. So if you are in a slow network or you lose signal, maybe you're commuting, going through a tunnel, or you just don't have access to the internet. Maybe you're on a plane, for example. You want to draft some replies or draft some messages to be sent. You will be able to do that now on mobile. And lastly, here for some of the new focus, the foci that our team is working on is going to be related to search. So search, as you know, we have a whole team here at Front dedicated to improving search. Some of the things that they are working on are going to be quickly locating conversations by specific dates in custom fields and a refine of our keyword search to include or exclude attachments. So if you are in a business where you have a lot of attachments and you say, look, I don't need to search through every attachment, you say, I'm going to exclude having Front search through those attachments because I know I just want to search through the body of the conversations or the tickets that I'm having with clients and customers. So that is a quick, brief, high-level overview of all the things that our team is currently working on to be released here over the next few weeks. Some of them I know I think are being released tomorrow and Friday. So hope you're all excited for those, as well as the next few months. But I did want to spend some time here to actually talk about some things that we've recently released to make sure that you're all aware of it. And if you're not using it already, to start using it here for your teams and your workflows. So some of the things that we have launched are ticketing, pre-built connectors, AI enhancements, updated macros, as well as much more. And I'll talk about that here for the next few minutes. So as you see, some of the new capabilities to our roadmap are building on top of some of these things that we've recently released. So want to make sure that you are ahead of those new releases by making sure you've adopted ticketing, you're building connectors, or you're leveraging the AI capabilities that exist today. First is going to be ticketing workflows for your inbox. So this is going to allow you to actually, rather than the traditional Front methodology of the open, assigned, unassigned, closed, or resolved, this is going to help switch to more of that ticket mentality. So you'll have the open, the waiting, and then the resolved. And this is going to help give you more granular ticket tracking. So Front's modern ticketing solution is going to let you track, organize, resolve these complex customer requests basically at scale across all of those channels. To enable ticketing, what you'll do is actually inside your settings, you'll just, as an admin, you'll go to that inbox and you'll just check ticketing mode. When this is turned on, ticketing status and ticket ID numbers will actually be assigned to every conversation in those inboxes. So again, that's going to change basically from kind of the open, the unassigned archive to this open, waiting, and resolved. And as we talked about here at kind of at the beginning of this roadmap presentation, we will be releasing the custom ticket statuses as well. That will be even more granular than this. So look out for that here soon. Another new release is the ability to automate status change with rules. So you'll be able to actually use ticket statuses in rules and macros to make sure that they're always updated and trigger from other workflows. So you can automatically update a ticket status when a conversation is assigned. So an example of that, you could say, hey, let's change, when something is changed to waiting, maybe assign that conversation to an individual and say, hey, this is waiting with legal. And you can assign it to your legal individual. You can move it to the legal inbox. Or you can set a reminder for a conversation in the waiting status. And then move it to an open status when that reminder goes off to basically say, hey, we need to follow up on that request. As for those of you who have enabled ticketing, you should actually see ticket statuses in your dashboard live now. So you can actually monitor your ticket statuses real time. You'll be able to keep track of those open tickets by inbox to ensure that your team is handling the volume. So if you just go inside Front Analytics, you'll be able to see basically that live dashboard that gives you that real-time visibility into the open conversation queues. Basically, this is going to, like many of you are already using analytics to help track to make sure your team is staying up on top of their work. This is going to be related to those ticketing statuses. So you'll be able to monitor those statuses in real time, identify those bottlenecks that your team might be having, and then track team performance as it relates to that ticketing. And again, as we mentioned a little bit earlier as well, the coming soon is going to be those ticket statuses more broadly across all analytics and reports, basically in every aspect of analytics. Another recent release by our product team is going to be the ability to deploy connectors in just a few clicks. So out of the box connector integrations with those third-party systems, really to reduce that setup time. So as many of you know, we have a lot of integrations that we partner with. We just want to make it even easier with our popular integrations and applications that many of you are using to basically, with one click, have all of your integrations, your applications connected. And that way you don't have to have developers who are building for you or have all of this custom work. We want to make it simpler for you. So that way you can have all of that third-party data directly inside Front. So you're not switching back and forth between different platforms or systems, but everything can be live inside Front. For example, one of those is going to be our Jira connector. So you can auto create and link Jira issues, send and receive comments, get real-time Jira status updates all directly within Front. We have a new connector as well with Highway. So you can actually detect, for those of you who are using these systems, you can actually basically detect potential fraud using Highway data, automatically route to a quarantine inbox, report that fraud directly from Front, surface relevant information to a motor carrier or to Department of Transportation number, and even use this data inside rules and message templates almost with the click of a button. We've also recently released a tie connector as well. So for those of you who are using tie software, which is a transport management system for freight brokers and 3PLs, basically, I won't spend too much time here to go into the details of all these connectors because I know that not all of you are using them, but just want to make sure that if you are, go make sure that you've built that connector so that way you can build all of this information from these systems into your workflows and make sure that they're just working inside Front so they don't have to be switching to all of these different platforms. So you may have seen basically over the last few months as well, we've actually released Support Report. So this is actually something that we started internally at Front. We were super proud of our support team, their response time, their resolution time, their CSAT, that we said we want to publish this to show customers and prospects how amazing, using Front is for support teams, because look at how efficient our support team has become because of these tools. We actually had a number of Front users and teams reach out to us to say, hey, we want to do that too, to show our competitive advantage, to show, hey, these are our live support metrics. We can respond to your team in 5 minutes, in 1 minute. And they were so confident that they're publishing their own support report. This is now actually something that's live to everyone. So you can publish performance metrics like CSAT, your average response time, a number of different metrics that you would choose on basically like a live dashboard and link that you can send your sales teams, your marketing teams to say, hey, go send this to our potential customers because we want to say Choose us because we can reply to you much faster than our competitors. Or choose us because our support is so stellar that you're always getting such a great interaction. So something else, I highly, if you are happy with your support team and with Front, I highly recommend that you start to publish this because we have seen some instrumental change from the teams, the individuals who have built this for their own companies to say, hey, this has been transformative for my team in beating out competition and something that our execs love to see. Another new release is managing knowledge base access by teammate group. So if you are building out specific teammate groups inside of Front, you can basically determine who needs to have access to which knowledge bases just based on that group. We've talked about AI a lot, but for some of the first things that our team has released and that you probably all have seen is actually helping having AI help answer any inquiry that comes in by searching your knowledge base. So as you all know, Front AI is going to be able to search knowledge base to help answer questions that come to your inbox. As we talked about, something else that will be coming soon is that ability to search multiple knowledge bases to make sure that AI has all of that information to basically have your teams be able to surface the relevant knowledge to provide a link to the resources. Another new release is the ability to make it even easier to create macros. So as you see here, you can basically create from a number of different templates. We are constantly updating our library of macros for the most common use cases. So it's actually something we look at basically quarter over quarter to make sure that we're building templates that we see are maybe some of the most created templates for other folks that are already on Front. A few other macro improvements, the ability to add steps in your macro to capture teammate input. You can set up macros to update third-party systems. So I think that that's a huge one for many of you who actually have other systems integrated in Front and have the ability to actually suggest which macro to use based on teammate usage. So if you're not sure exactly like which macro should I be using, agents will, this is something that our team is working on releasing here shortly. You'll actually be able to get a suggestion based on the conversation data to help them resolve those conversations even faster by building a macro in the future. A few more AI enhancements, being able to translate customer messages. So it will automatically start to detect message language and prompt agents to translate it to preferred language. Expanded sources for suggested replies. So, as we've talked about, having multiple resources that AI can look through for those suggested replies and a higher limit for AI tagging. So soon up to 50 tags to categorize conversations, having AI automatically do that categorization for you as you start to train it on what should be tagged with what topic. And lastly here, a few new chatbot capabilities that our team has been working on and releasing is the ability to collect CSAT scores directly in chat, branching conversations by the office that you're in, as well as enable branching in saved chatbot flows. So added the ability to incorporate that branching logic so that you can create even more personalized and responsive interactions to basically adapt to the different users. And with that, I know that has been a lot. I've seen a lot of questions come in, a lot of excitement as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Helena, for a quick wrap up here. But again, just as we mentioned, there will be answers to all of the Q&A. So as we didn't answer these live here now, Helena is going to talk about where to find answers to your questions. Helena, I'll pass it back over to you.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. All right. That was a lot of information. We got a ton of really good questions. We are going to be working with our product team to make sure we answer them with tip-top quality, and then we will post them to our to our community. So there's a comment in the chat about where to find those answers. Just subscribe to that thread and you'll get notified when we post the recording and when we post the Q&As from today's session. You just log in with your front credentials. You don't need to create any new accounts for our community. Just log in like you usually do with Front, and then you'll be able to subscribe for updates. And if you joined a little bit late today, a reminder that we are going to be creating a brand new crash course video library. So if you would like to give us your submissions and requests for what you'd like to see in that video library, please drop a comment in the link that I just put in the chat right here. And then we will make those videos for you so that you can quickly share them. And I saw a couple of questions come in about whether you automatically receive a copy of the recording. It's not automatic, so we need to clean it up a little bit, and then we will post it to our community. And if you just go to that post that I put in there of the webinar in our community and click subscribe, you will get notified when we post that. And yeah, so thank you so much today for sharing your time with our education and community team. Come visit us over in the community and academy. We're always adding on daily, weekly basis, lots of activity going on over there. And yeah, we just want to say thank you. We'd love to have you there. With that, we are looking forward to the next time we can all get together and have a next roadmap session. So thank you all so, so much. Have a great day and a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.